to be a lot of missing dogs in our neighborhood these days.
Missing dogs?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot more missing dog posters than normal.
I saw one this morning that said tannish puggle.
That's what it was supposed to say, but the spelling actually said
Tanish pugil.
So they were a big fan of the double letters. How are we supposed to find a tannish brown pugil?
What is
that even a dog?
Pugil. Is that a cross between a pug and a
Bugle. You know, like a
bugle?
like one of those musical instruments.
A beagle.
Well, a puggle.
It's
A puggle would be a cross between a pug and a beagle, right?
Yes.
But it was misspelled. It was spelled pugil.
Well.
And I just saw a poster for poor Apollos, the boxer, who
Apollos
is still
the boxer.
missing.
After 16 years.
This was a desperate follow-up poster. Admittedly, the English language is pretty confusing. I mean, when you start really diving into some words and their origins, you start to wonder.
So, like, pugil being a combination between pug and beagle.
Well, it would be puggle.
Puggle, right, sorry. But things like cauliflower, that's a combination of collie and flower.
Like Collie the dog.
Is it a dog and a flower? Or was there someone named Collie who named the flower? Or what about rosemary? It's like a guy with two love interests.
Oh, Rose
and he's like,
Mary.
Every time I smell you, Rose. And she's like, my name's Mary. And he's like, Rosemary. And then they named the plant Rosemary so that the girls wouldn't get the wrong idea.
Well, it could be a sweet story. What if it was a man who had two daughters named Rose and Mary who were tragically torn from him in infancy, and he discovered this rare herb that no one had ever discovered or named before, and he named them in memoriam of his lost twin daughters, Rosemary, the perfect pairing.
Perfect.
Rose and Mary.
I see. That's well, maybe.
Perhaps I should write historical fiction.
What about deadline?
Ooh.
Like,
yeah, that is weird.
The line after which you are dead.
Also known as get your project turned in by this date or else. Or maybe it means a line that is no longer alive, it is dead.
Like a pickup line that's been used too much? Like, hey baby, you come here often?
Why, yes, I'm in this car every single day, at least twice a day.
I see. Another one that's weird is Worcestershire sauce. It makes me think that someone was in a restaurant at one point and they were like, excuse me, sir, Worcestershire sauce. And the waiter was like, that's our house special sauce. And he's like, what's it called? And he's like, Worcestershire sauce. When it was actually just because he misheard the guy saying, Worcestershire sauce.
But then there's also like phrases that when you think about it have no meaning. Like I was writing my Airbnb review the other day and I said it was great because just steps away was a darling little restaurant where we dined daily. And then I thought, steps away could literally mean anything.
Like California is technically steps away from Florida.
You just don't define how many steps.
Like several million steps. It's still technically steps away. Often you hear people say like, well, a number of people said that a alien was here that night. And then it's like, well, a number? I happened to be making out with a number of Russian models last night. That number was 0.
Oh, thank goodness. This has been the Savage Commute.
There's something afoot, at hand, ahead.
Another really weird phrase.
See, afoot means something is up. At hand means happening now. Ahead means nearby.
Yeah, it gets weirder the more you say it.
I think Mark Twain came up with that one.
I thought it was Sherlock Holmes.
It's one of them.
Wasn't it Benedict Cumberbatch?
No, definitely not.
Dang